Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I am going to teach Node.js user registration and login. So first we have to discuss about the user registration part. You have to create. So these are the fields are in our database table columns, right? First name, last name, email, and password. First I'm going to go to register the record. So I'm going to register the record here as Peter. Here we have to Steve. Here you have a email address Peter 321, right? So let's click send button. Here user created successfully, right? User is created successfully. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to validate the username and password. So you have write the API. This is the port where we have right to connect the nodejs. Here we have the API. So login, this time login, we have test this one peter@gmail.com. Here we have to password. I'm going to write it wrongly. Click send button. Here employee validated fail. Okay, it will be fail. User validated fail. Okay, here it's false because if it is if you write the correct username password here validated successfully, right? This how we have checked through the APIs, right? So let's see how to do this project step by step, right? Now first what I'm going to do is go to the F drive. Here I'm going to create the project, new node project pro, right? So here I'm going to create the new project. So you have to type cmd. In order to create the node project, you have to type npm init. That you have to create the package JSON file. Right, first you have to create the package JSON file and you have to configure the project. Package name, you have to press enter key. Version, all things I am press enter key, and this one we don't. If you need, you can give the all things. So I don't need them. Here yes, you press enter key, it is yes, right? Now you can see the package.json file is created successfully. Now this file I will open it on the code space dot. You have to open on the VS Code editor, right? Okay, if you are not installed the nodejs, you must install it. So go to the respective website and you have to install it. Okay, you go to the respective website nodejs and you have to install it. I know you know already how to install the nodejs, right? So after that you have to open the project in the VS Code editor. It's opening, right? It's open up your VS Code editor, right? Perfect. Only you have a, if you open it, only you have a package.json file only you have. If you click on this, all the package will be installed on the package.json here. So all the file will be open in the package.json. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to go to click new folder. First I'm going to create a file which is server.js. Server.js file you have created. Server.js, what you're going to do is here. First what you are going to do is we have to download the respective dependencies. First dependency I am going to download as express. Download the express, so you write npm express. It's simple. It goes to the npm package. Here you have to download. You simply download the package. Click on the express. Click it over here. Back to your project. You have to, this one should nodejs. Okay, so here we have to open it on, this is the package, right? So nodejs, you have to write, you have to paste it over here, press enter key. Okay, this is the server. You have to download the express server. The node is working in the server. This is an express server which is working on the express server. So this you have to install the express server first. After install the express server, you have to type install another thing is a mongoose for in order to connect the database. So you have to write mongoose. npm mongoose will go to the respective. So you have just copy this one, paste it over here. You have to install the mongoose. After that, another thing is right, you have to install them. This both would be fine. Right, that should be fine. After that, what you are going to do is you have to open up the MongoDB Compass. If you are not installed, you must install. Okay, while you installing the nodejs, you have to install the MongoDB Compass as well. You have to download and install it. Right. This is the GUI application for MongoDB for in order to connect create the databases. Okay, right. Your MongoDB is not working. Simple, if you are connected, it's not working. You have to go to the SR service. So sometimes the service which if you are connect, it won't connect. Here it won't connect. You go to the service. There will be the service. It consists of the MongoDB server here. If it is not started, if it is stopped, you click start. Okay, if it is not started. Okay, right. That's I already started, so that's why the start will be enabled, disabled. Okay, if it is not started, it will be enabled. You click and start it. Right, then only you will be able to connect. These are currently we have a databases. Now I'm going to go to create a new database. Click on here. I'm going to create a database as here BMS. Right, BMS. Here you have to create the table here as employee. Click create. Right, BMS. We have a table employee. Right, that's it. That's the thing you have to write. Whether now your package has been installed successfully mongodb. Right now here the server. I'm going to go to first. I'm going to implement the Express. So the Express after install the Express here it will be telling how to import them. Here this is how you import the server. Okay, so you have to copy this one. Here you have to listen the port everything. It will be telling. First you have to Express. You already installed. You have to put it here like this. Express. After that we have to the Mongoose. npm mongoose. You no need to write this. All the things are after install it. It's there on the packages. You will be able to get the package. You can get it. Get them all. How to import the mangoes here? This there. Copy this one. Paste it over here. Right? That's it. That's the thing you have to do it. Right? That's the only thing you have to do it. Right? Mongoose required mongoose. Right. Right. After that, what you are going to do is I'm going to go to do the another thing is Express server. Right. Another thing is we have to connect the these two things. I will explain. Don't worry. Right. After that, what I'm going to do is this. Right. Mongoose. We have to set strictly query false. Right. If there are any problem with the request, it will be take care of it. Okay. If you write mongoose set query false. Right. After that, we have to write mongoose connect. Your databases reside on where MongoDB. This is the port. Okay, here this is the port. Okay, log this is the port. You specify the database name. What is the database name you have created? BMS. Here this is you have to make it as URL for true and technology true. Then only it will work. After that we have a function create DB. Right, that's the thing you have to write. What's the problem? Right, the problem is here. This simply you have to copy all the things. That's the thing, it's a problem. This line explain your databases reside on localhost. This is the port. Okay, this is your database name. So here the function, we have to write the function check db. Okay, so the function check db. If there is any error occur in the while you are connecting the database, it will be error connection on the db. If it is database connection successfully, you getting the message connection successfully. Right, that's the thing you have to write. After that, we have to write another thing is the second one. We have to use these things. The port you have to write like this here. listen. So here simply I just copy and paste it because if I write and explain take too much of time. I'll write this one also. I'll show you server dot listen. You're specify the port 001. Okay, here we have to write the function separately. Function check error, check error, check error. You have to test if here if check error here it will be checked. Inside the function you have to write this code. Okay, this code what I'm going to do is the same function I just paste copied and comma and paste it. It will come inside the backend. That's the things we have written over here. Okay, simple, right? So error. Okay, if the port is started, right? Now what I'm going to do is here, right? Now I'm going to go to listen the port. This is the port which will be connecting. Right now let's use it. Okay, this is JSON. This one also you have to call it server.json. Server.json means this one app.json. This app. This is also the listen port also app. Okay, this app. We have to write app. Okay, right. Now let's copy it. Now let's test it whether it's working. The port is connected or not. This is the your project. Type node server.js. Your board is already running, that's why. So you have to different port, you have to type different port. I already gave the port, that's why the port is running. Okay, so no problem. Even the port. I didn't save it. Change the port. I haven't saved out. Now let's try out server node, how to run the project node server.js. Now here your project is started, DB is connected, right? Okay, this port I show the testing demo. That port is running. That's why it show like this. Now if you have different port, it will be run. No problem. Just simple stuff in order to connect the server and database. Perfect. That's it. The simple stuff you have to connect the database and server. Right. Now after that, what you are going to do is I'm going to make the folder which is routes. Inside the routes, we have to create a file which is the routes.js. Right. This route.js, I'm going to write two things. I'll just copy and paste and tell you, don't worry. Right. First, you have to write the express required express this same thing, this server.js, the same thing. After that, what I did here is I have created a controller. First, the route, what does is you already know the routes. What does the routes mean? It will be straightly communicate with the controller. This is a model view architecture, right? MVC. So var user controller required, your controller is in the src folder, users folder, right? So here we have to write the different folder src. This is the structure we have to write. Okay, inside the extra folder there is a user folder. This is how we have to write the structure. You have to follow the structure. Inside the folder you have to create the folder which is a user controller. Okay, .js, right? User control.js, right? So inside that you have to give the path like this server. Okay, routes. So routes, this folder is here. You have to double // mean it goes to here user controller. Here you have to write the routes. You have to this express. You have to call the routes. Okay, routes. If the URL is, if you type the URL is /login, it goes to the login controller. If the URL is coming /create, it goes to the create user controller. Right. That's the thing you have to write. Okay. Now first go to the user controller. So I'm going to do this. Here I am to user controller. I just copy these things. Explaining. Right. User controller as calling to the requesting the service to get the service, right? So we have a user controller, we have a var create user controller request and response. Here first you have to inside the try block you have to write. Okay, here you can check whether it's working fine or not. Request, right? You have to work which is fine or not, you have to check it. Okay, so here you have to write console request bodies var status user service create database. You have a body. What's the body you are typing on the postman key? It is getting. Okay, so if the request is all things are correct, database or all things are correct, it will be creating the user, right? The creating user part, we have to do it as a service, user service. The same name, I'm going to create the page, serve user service. This page, you have to create user service .js. Right. User service .js page, I have to create simple page. Okay, right. The simple one. Okay, so this one should be the model. Okay, so it will be communicate with the model. So model also we have to write the what are the models are there. You have to write the schema of the database. So you have to write the same model. So model .js. You need to communicate with the database. Don't worry, this also source code I provide you. The simple schema. What are the fields available? So Mongo's the schema. You have to write the database schema. What are the fields available? First name consists of first name, type string, required row, last name, type string, required row, email, string, required row, password, string, required row. This all things have we have written. This is a simple schema in order to create the database. Right? Now you can see here is a controller. The create, right? So create, which is a here you can see here create how the things works here. You can see here is a controller, create controller. It will be here this one get what is the request you are typing service. It will be create a service. It has a method which is a create service. Create service. Here also there is a this is your user details. Okay, user details. Here return promise which will be handling all the things. Okay, we have put it the resolve and reject two method. Here this is the model we have created, user model, new model means this model we have getting, right? So here we have to type this the fields, user model, first name, last name, email and password, right? These are the fields we have to equal into the this is the fields which is a postman. This is our database fields. After that we have to the password we have to encrypt it. So we have a encrypted, we have to call this, we have to write this encrypt, this one var encryptor. You have to call the encryptor. So you have to write type this one, this plugin. You also you have to install it var npm. So go to Google npm simple encryptor. This is the plugin. Also you simply you have to install it. Okay, then only you have the package is working, right? This is simple npm simple encryptor. Click on this one, go back here. This your server is running. Control C to stop it. You have to run this plugin, this dependency. Then only the password encryptor is working. Otherwise, if the password encryptor is not working, but it is not secure. Okay, so we have to install it. Now you can see here the plugin is installed successfully. You can see now what you are going to do here. Let's type var encryptor required. You have to write simply. You have to type like this. Okay, you have to simple type like this. And if you have any problem here, you can see here. You just copy and paste it over here, right? The same thing. After that, the key you have set the key. You just dummy value you have just typed like this. Okay, it will be generated like this. You can write 8, something like that. You can write like this. Okay, you have tried something like that, right? It will be creating the key. This is a key you have tried, right? Okay, this is the then only you have to use this encryptor. Your password, use a password. This is a password. You have to encrypt it out like this. You have to encrypt. You have to set this encryptor here, right? After that, user data save. If there are any error, reject false. No error, resolve true. Right? That's the thing you have to write. Okay, these all things are saved inside this model via communicate the MongoDB database. So no SQL. That's how it works, right? Simply that's how it works. Now let's save all. Here you have to specify the table, and what's the table we have created? BMS employee table. So you have to change it as employee, not user, employee. The table name employee. Right. Let's save all. Now let's go to the postman and check it. Right. This postman. You have to specify the port. What's the port you have given here? The server dot. This is the port we have given. Okay, the port which is this port. and URL user create. URL you have to return in the routes folder, here user create. After that, we have to make a simple change here. We didn't give the routes. So the server which is communicate, the first thing is a routes. Or routes. The route is reside on the inside the routes folder. Routes inside the routes. Route is the one who communicate with the URLs. After the routes, I am going to use it. I am going to use the routes here. And that's it. This app dot use routes. That's it. Now let's save all. Again, I am going to run the server. Control C to if you make the changes, you must run the server, then only it will be a play. I'm going to create the one, click the send button. Now here user created successfully. The user created successfully. After that, we have to test the login. So you can see the login. Login, what I did here is when the server call the routes, this how works, right? Routes, it's called the routes. The routes, what I'm going to do, when the request is coming, user login, it goes to the controller login here. Hold on the control key and click on here. Login, this is the method. Request and response here, avoid login function. Click on the login function, it will be testing. Invalid data, it will be testing whether it request is, what is the result. First you have to test here, user model, it is finding the email ID. The email ID is already there or not. Here, if you test through user login, first it is post request, yeah, it validated. First it will be checking whether the email ID is there or not. So here it will be valid. Okay, if it is invalid here, if it is invalid, for email ID, if you are passing it like this, it is invalid. Here it's false. Email ID's detail is invalid. That's how here it will be rejected and invalid. Details will be. If it is a fine only, the email address is fine only. Here in that validated. Okay, if the email IDs you are typing is correct, what happens is it's coming here in this block. It's coming first. The result it is null or not. It will be checking. Okay, after that it will decrypt the password. Okay, after decrypt that password and we will check it. It is matched with the employee or not. Okay, if it is matched, the employee validated. If the password is not validated, if the password is not matched, it will be reject. If the password is valid, it will be employee validated successfully. If password is incorrect, rejected. Okay, that's how we have to make the changes. Right? Very simple. Okay, then the response goes to the controller getting here. Result is displaying here. Right? The employee is validated success, status will be true and employee validated successfully, otherwise employee validated false. This is how the request is working. Okay, the simple stuff, you don't worry, this is all the source code I provide you. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you like my channel, please subscribe me, like me. Thank you for watching.